RMJ movie reviews. Back again with an on-the-fly movie review. I told you guys I'm like cramming reviews today. So, my next on-the-fly movie review is going to be of Hustlers, starring Jennifer Lopez. I'm a little bit late on the train with Hustlers, but I was very curious about this film. Man, I'm gonna jump straight into it. I love this movie. Flat out. This movie was, and I'm not talking about the salacious stripper aspect of the film. Just as a movie, I love it. I thought it was fantastic. I would give this a pretty solid rating. I would give this a high 9 out of 10. It was really good. Hustlers basically tells the story of the actress's name. I think it's Vani. I'm sorry, guys. Wu. She's basically a girl who's struggling to take care of her grandmother, and she needs to make a little cash like all young ladies, and she decides to become a dancer. She's taken under her wing by the great Jennifer Lopez, and they dance for money, dance for dollar bills, and a recession hits and they got to come up with greater means to make that money, because shaking that backside just ain't cutting it no more. They got to, come up with a little bit more methodical ways to make their cash. And how they deal with the fallback of those choices they make is the film. It was just really great. One thing I really liked about it is that this is basically a stripper kind of storyline, and I will say that this movie handles the stripper aspect very classy. I will say, for us male members of the audience, we still get the things that we like, which is seeing naked chicks dance around and see their backsides, which is what guys like, and it does deliver in that. When I say classically done, I would compare this to another film from the 90s, and I'm going old school. Remember Players Club, Ice Cube's movie? That was a film that was low budget, really down and dirty. I'm not sure the budget for this movie, but you can tell that this is of a higher ilk than Players Club. But Players Club was a very, very down and dirty movie where, like, when you watch Players Club, you can almost smell the weed, smell the alcohol, smell the grossness of a strip club. It's a down and dirty hood film, and I love Players Club, but that's what it is. And you actually do get your fair of pole dancers in Players Club, and the camera sits there and lets them do their thing. This isn't that. This is very well shot in terms of the cinematography, the colors. They really contrast the seductive, dangerous environment of a strip club with the colors and the vibrancy. It's a very fake surface level environment. It's almost like I would compare the way they present a strip club in this movie almost to like how like you think of like a metaphor of like how the devil puts gives you money and all these things and throws them in front of your face to blind you from what is actually in front of you, which is a bad thing. And I think that's kind of the way I view these strip clubs in this movie. It's just a fake, kind of alluring, dangerous, really, that's just the thing. It's just a fake environment that's meant to deceive you, to get something out of you, to really take from you. And I really like the way that's presented. All the music in the soundtrack is really good. They use a lot of the typical songs that we've been hearing on radio stations the last couple of years. It's really great. Cardi B pops up for a moment. And I will say, all the actresses who play the dancers in the movie do a great job of conveying the very meticulous and methodical and conniving nature of a stripper. You know what I mean? It really presents how they know how to really mess with men's minds and almost trick a man into thinking that he's getting more than what he's actually getting. So, a guy coming there with, kind of his thoughts and ideas, and you get a couple drinks in his system, and he's thinking he's doing more than what he's actually doing, and next thing you know, he ain't got no more cash in his pocket. And it's meticulously, fantastically presented, the way the girls seduce the guys and play with their minds. It really shows the power and psychological. It really shows how good strippers are at psychological warfare. They are master manipulators. It's pimpery on a whole nother level. It's really good the way it's presented here. Jennifer Lopez does a fantastic job. And excuse me guys, allergies. And all of us 90s teenagers who grew up with J-Lo all the way back to Money Train and Anaconda, and even way back to In Living Color, which we didn't know who she was back then, we get our just visual treats of Miss Lopez. And it's, for me, as a 90s teenager, I think it was worth the price of admission. I'm getting the Blu-ray or the high def or whatever when it comes out in a couple months. I thought it was worth the price of admission. Would I like to have seen maybe a little bit more? I'm not saying I am, but I wouldn't have been against them showing a little bit more, But that part was really great, and her performance is Jennifer Lopez. I think this is one of the greatest performances I've seen from Jennifer Lopez in a very long time. I haven't watched that TV show that just finished a couple years ago that she did with Ray Liotta, but I know here she's really good. Her acting is really good. I really enjoyed her performance in this film. And what I love is that for me as a viewer, I always thought Jennifer Lopez is attractive. However you feel about Jennifer Lopez, that's kind of on you. I know there's some people who really can't stand her. There's some people who kind of are like, meh, here nor there. I always liked her. You know what I mean? People, I'm not gonna get into that stuff about her personal life. But I really think she's fantastic here. And I love the fact that she is an older woman who's very attractive. And it's just something about her character is much more alluring, that she is a very attractive older woman, kind of in this young woman's game. I really like that to that character. It just gives her this seasoned kind of feel to her. Julia Stiles, Save the Last Dance. She pops up in there. Very good performance. Her role is not in that world, so she doesn't really give it much to do, but she's very good. There's one scene where she walks through a door, and I was kind of like, dang, Julia Stiles, okay, nice. Johnny Woo. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm butchering her name. She's very pretty, very attractive. Her performance is very well done too. I like how they really play on that the Asian angle, and how her I believe her grandmother was from, and I'm sorry if I missed what part of the Asian culture she was. I don't want to, I can't remember what part it was already, but I really like that they play a little bit into that of like when you're from Asia and you're an immigrant coming over to the States, and how you have to adapt. And there's a little bit of that in the story and in her background. I really like that. It's a really well done movie, and I like how they present how the recession plays into the main story, and how a lot of some of these guys who, I was gonna say gentlemen, but some of these guys who frequent strip clubs, and they break down the different guys, that there's some guys who are just disgusting scumbags, misogynists. There's some guys who are just really just like down on their luck, and they're just lonely, and they just need somewhere to take their mind off of their stress. And then there's other guys who are just like, they're in between. It's just something to do. They really break it down in really different levels, and I really like that piece of the aspect. And I also like too how this is not a man hating guys are scumbags type of movie. It just presents it for what it is in the real world, and how almost the code of like the strip club, the stripper code, kind of translates to the world. The code and how you have to do what you have to do to make money, survive by any means necessary, and how sometimes in trying to survive and make your money and do this and that, you lose the sense of how your actions affect maybe your own life or other people's life. You know, it's a very interesting, I think, idea of how, you know, you just chase after money, and sometimes there's consequences for that. I'll only digress for 1 minute and say that I just keep it very brief, that I have learned that people will do anything for money. They will do anything for money. Anything for money. So, you know, and you could look down on people who might go into this type of lifestyle to make money, but I can tell you, and I do mean anybody, and that does include longtime friends that you've known for years and years, and even your own family. So if that means stab you in the back to make that money or to get ahead, it will be done, and they will do it to you, even if you are a family or a friend that they've known for years and years. So kind of some things that the film is saying is true, because I've experienced, and it's mighty damn depressing that people will do anything for money. That's Monty's public service announcement on that one part. But anyway, it was a fantastic film. I really loved it, and it was very classically presented. I love the way the girls are presented with the lighting, and it was just a really good movie. And it's basically kind of like a little mini crime drama. It was well done, man. I just highly enjoyed this movie. I can't give a higher recommendation for Hustlers. It is really the funnest movie in the last couple months that I've seen. I really enjoyed it. But anyway, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, leave comments down below, and don't forget to hit the little bell, and leave comments about Hustlers. RMJ Movie Reviews. I'll see you soon.